What's a video game that you would consider a masterpiece from start to finish? For me, The Last of Us. SNES. The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Mass Effect Trilogy. Despite the flack that the third one gets, I thoroughly enjoyed the journey through all the games. Clair Obscur. Expedition 33. Chrono Trigger. Final Fantasy VI. I don't think any game is without flaws, but to me, Morrowind will always hold that place in my heart. These days I can't really play it anymore because I've done it to death and I notice mostly all the annoying things about it, but the fact that it took me decades to reach that point, and that I spent countless hours lost in that world when I was younger speaks to what a great game it was. Skyrim was infinitely more polished, but it lacks the magic of Morrowind for those who already knew Tess. BioShock, without question. Games I've played multiple times and still enjoy them and just think they are perfect. Horizon Zero Dawn, The Last of Us 1 at 2, Cyberpunk 2077, Detroit Become Human, Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9 at 10, FF7, Remake, and Rebirth, Far Cry 3, Max Payne 2 and 3, Resident Evil 2 and 4, Remakes, Uncharted 2 and 4, Mass Effect Trilogy. Borderlands 2. It improved drastically on the first one. It had one of the coolest villains of all time, great voice acting, amazing story with great side jaunts, lovely music, and the best DLC of all time for my money. Red Dead Redemption 2. Final Fantasy NX 1110 can and will recommend to anyone who is an alive human that likes RPGs. I believe it is a perfect game, and both the greatest game and the pinnacle of gaming on the original PlayStation. Shadow of the Colossus, Super Mario 64, Super Mario World, Ocarina of Time, Super Metroid, Castlevania, Symphony of the Night. Am very disappointed that neither Final Fantasy Tactics and Baldur's Gate 3 are near the top. Fallout New Vegas, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Zelda: A Link to the Past. For me, I was enthralled by Ori and the Blind Forest. Uncharted: Drake's Fortune. Last of Us 1 and 2. Chrono Trigger: is there a bad moment in that game? Earthbound, another one that is just zany start to finish. Final Fantasy VII, hard to say masterpiece 100% of the time because the game is huge. I remember being blown away when you left Midgar. It seemed like that was going to be the whole game. Little did you know it was one city and you had barely scratched the surface of the story in the game. The Witcher 3. Wild Hunt. Breath of the Wild and Last of Us Part 1. Elden Ring: Horizon Zero Dawn. Cheap answer, but RD2. One of the best stories in all of media in my opinion. Final Fantasy 4, 6, and 9. Zelda, Ninja Turtles and Battletoads, Mario 64 at GoldenEye, Resident Evil 2, Final Fantasy Tactics, and Metal Gear Solid. Half-Life, Portal, falls under HL but felt it deserved its own mention, and Diablo 2, Fallout 3, bought DWU. StarCraft, Brood War, the original esport, still being played at an insane level 30 years later, and also the most balanced RTS game ever. Metal Gear Solid: The OG 1. Mass Effect, the whole series, can play it over and over and love it. Final Fantasy Tactics, followed by FF7. Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VI, Diablo 2. Shadow of the Colossus. Cuphead. Even though I rage quit after 2 hours and didn't come back to it until 6 months later, it absolutely captured my childhood nostalgia with Looney Tunes and that animation style. Once I started appreciating it and getting it, I started beating it. Tears of the Kingdom. Go 2018, Castlevania SOTNS SV3, Guilty Gear 2 to Uncharted 2. Harry 2600 Pitfall NES. SMB3 and Zelda 1 N64, Zelda, Ocarina of Time PS1, MGS1 PS2, MGS3, or GTA 3 Phase 3, Fallout 3 or NV had to mostly stop playing around then, kids not a family, career stuff and all that shit. Hollow Knight for sure. IMO the closest any game has ever got to perfection. The Curse of Monkey Island. Days Gone and Expedition 33 for me. Super Mario World Super Mario Kart. It's not even in my top 3 games, but Portal 2. Or It's Time, and It's Dead Now, Earth and Beyond. BioShock Elden Ring Dead Space. Legends of Zelda for Super Nintendo. SM64 for me, also DKC2. Super Mario RPG, Earthbound, StarCraft. Final Fantasy Tactics. I can replay that game every year until I die, and still love it. The Ori series, both The Blind Forest and Will of the Wisps. Final Fantasy Tactics, A Link to the Past, Metal Gear Solid. Fable, The Lost Chapters. The Last of Us is a total masterpiece. The storytelling and character development are on another level. I see this question at least twice a week. This question every day lol. GTA San Andreas, GTA Vice City. I haven't played it in an age, but Ghost of Tsushima. Vanilla World of Warcraft. GTA San Andreas and GTA 5. The original Deus Ex. Max Payne 1 and 2 BioShock Deus Ex RDR 2 Dishonored 2 Thief 2 Cyberpunk. Deus Ex. It has one of the greatest opening levels of all time, and then you find out that every level is built like that. Not to mention the story, the lore, the interconnectedness of it all. I'm gonna add 2 on here that don't have stories as such, but are worthy additions. Terraria UFO, Enemy Unknown, may have been called Defense in the US. Both incredible games, where you kinda make your own story up as you play along. Same for any of the Civ games from 2.6. Detroit, Beyond Human. Grim Fandango. There just hasn't been another adventure game that captures the unique spark it has. It's truly a perfect amalgam of plot, style, aesthetic, humor, drama, and what a soundtrack. Absolutely unbeatable. The Witcher series, especially The Witcher 3. The World Ends with You. Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2. Crash Bandicoot PS1. Yes, the one with the snowball. Expedition 33. But if we go back in time, then Ocarina of Time probably. Castlevania, Symphony of the Night. Red Dead Redemption 2. And people who whinge about the snow bit at the beginning can go fuck their entire selves.